Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. Real paper, real paper. One West, nigga. Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. Nigga can't have more than you, you know them niggas will still hate you. Damn. Those are characteristics in a pussy nigga nature. Talk that shit behind my back, but be on mute when it's a facial. Smiling in my face, but you can't hide all of that hatred. I'm too silent, you a snake. I see that shit a mile away. Man of war, and I'm not sorry, blame that shit on UPK. Pussy ass nigga, you a pussy ass nigga. Oh, you confused, you think pussy ass nigga. This ain't drag racing, why you got that drag with you? I'm a bad getter, pull up with two bad bitches. tribe.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the verse 48. You will find me on the verse 48. Find me on the verse 48. I do anything to keep my daughters safe. You harm them, you will find me on the verse 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it. I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me. I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraph, so forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to get salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud. It's gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Wagwan priest, you good?
What's going on?
Listen, man, I'm hearing you, man, you ISUPK brothers be talking about the Jacobites that was in Scotland were originally black. You man ain't reaching that.
Listen, put that on the TV right there. You'll see it. This is the transportations. If you look right there, it will let you know Robert Adam, brown, William Bow, black, Dogo Campbell, brown complexion, black, brown. I see brown, black, brown, black, brown. This is all the Jacobites that was shipped out of places like Ireland and so forth. This is the transportations.
Right.
So this is giving you the complexion of the Jacobites that was shipped out of these places to Barbados and other islands in the West Indies.
Yo, that's mad. So it's saying what? Robert Adams was a labourer and he was what? Brown faced. William Bell was what? Black, curled hair. Damn. That's deep, man.
Which means what as well? Which also means black people was in Europe. Why? Because they ruled the Dark Ages. So that's why they was in Europe.
You man are cold at history, man. Alright, man. Shalom.
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yahanna. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
West to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Maskoyak.
West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
They need food, housing, clothing. They need counseling. They need understanding of what's happened to them. They need an identity. They need to know the truth about the Lord. They need to be woke up to who the devil is. That's right. White man. That's what the hell they need. And you add that to black people, Latinos, and Native Indians, brother, then you're going to be able to do something. The whole reason I'm here saying these things to you, because these things are supposed to show you and give you hope. It's supposed to make you say to yourself, you know what, we got a kingdom coming. You know what, the Lord's judgment is coming. You know what, let's change our life.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Yahanna bash me outside, broke a thumb.
Show
me outside to all the sisters, man. We back again Wednesday night. Big Wednesday. Smack in the middle of the week. We're going to be running it down tonight. We're going to be letting you know. We're going to plan your funeral for you tomorrow because I know some of you are going to go get yourself just totally, executed tonight on some stupid shit. And doing some shit you got no business doing. This is not the new year. But the devil will remain the same, though. You know what I mean? Big up Commander Johnny Yahanna, hardest milking man in Israel today, all the way through planning that Passover. We're going to be down in Houston, Texas, April 4, 2026. Just about 3 months and 4 days? 5 days, maybe? It's about 3 months away. The Lord's 57th annual Passover. We're going to be in the building. We're going to be doing it up, rocking it out on that ranch. Lamb slaughter is the Passover kickoff is April 1st. April 1st on that ranch, the lamb slaughter. You know what I mean? We had the all-black party, the kids' party. We had the scripture breakdown class, Passover, Big 5-7. And, of course, the Feast of Unleavened Bread closing out on the Sunday. Make sure you take your time off all the way up until Sunday. Don't leave before then.
That's right.
Don't short yourself. Don't short the whole week. All the way until that Sunday. We're going to be rocking it out till then. Feast of Unleavened Bread is part of the Passover. It starts overnight. So make sure you stay down there. Get the whole thing. Take your time off, man. If they don't give you time off, you know what to do. You know how we do. You know how we black and brown people do. Hey, you thought I was asking. You thought I was asking. I was giving you notice, nigga. I wasn't asking.
It's a lot of service. I remember I said that before a couple of years ago as a young officer, full of zeal. I said, I was like, no. I'm giving you this as a courtesy. And the devil started laughing. He was like, well, damn. I was like, yeah.
He gonna respect you if you step to him like, nigga, yeah. I'm free like you. Right. I'm just like you. Say, no, I'm not asking you. I'm consider yourself notified. Right. Give me time to find somebody to fill the gap. You know what I mean? With that said, everybody go pay your Passover fee right now. Right now. Or I pray 1,000 moths on that brand new gammas under your bed. I pray the moths eat your gammas up. Your gamma this and gamma that, and you're comparing the gamma soul and this and that, and the jump man too high and he too low. I pray the moths and the worms eat your gammas up. I pray you don't get to wear it. Go because the shoes, not you. Because the shoe gets eaten. Go pay a Passover fee right now, man. Only $200 for a whole week long, full of events. You know what I mean? You can't beat that. Lamb, bread, wine, you know, all black party performance. The kids have a whole, you know, event going on where they're gonna be having fun. You can't beat it. Go get it in. Go get it in. So, what you all feeling like? What you all feeling like? Somaliland? Yo, what your feel to get into? Iran, Venezuela?
Salaki, sir. While I was in your class just a minute ago, Officer Nawanya Allen, Florida, sent me an article about China. I don't know if this is on the list. China firing missiles at Taiwan.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Ching Chong. Go ahead, man. How they say it? They covered it. Buddha be praised. Buddha be praised. Oh shit! They're firing missiles at Taiwan, boy. Yeah, I mean, let's go with that one. Let's go with that one, boy. I think that's going to be the temperature for this so-called 2026.
Right.
I think Trump done start, you know, he starts sliding on people, and they just gonna continue it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because even last week, you all heard NATO scrambled some jets because they thought Russia was on the way to bomb Britain. Brother, Putin sent some jets, and just before it hit UK, changed direction. NATO scrambled some fighters because they thought it was on. They thought it was on. I'm gonna look for it and get after, but you could go ahead, Kazan.
Khan, sir. China fires rockets towards World War III hotspot island, Taiwan, after massive military drills fuel invasion fears. China has ramped up fears of a global showdown after firing nearly 30 live-fire rockets close to Taiwan during its biggest ever military drill around the island. Beijing unleashed the provocative show of force as warships, bomber aircraft, and new amphibious assault vessels moved in on Taiwan for a second day of exercises, rehearsing a full blockade. So, like,
yeah.
So wait, and Taiwan is the one with the chips that America wanted.
If I could, while Kazak is getting the rest of the story, if I could just explain for brothers and sisters that don't know, Taiwan and China is like the Caribbean in America. Like the same way the Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Cuba sit right outside of Florida, Taiwan is like that with China. So it's damn near like the Chinese, since the end of World War II, have been saying Taiwan is China, man. It's part of our country. And it damn near, the promise was made after World War II that China could get Taiwan. But then, Taiwan, after when China first became communist, right? Mao Zedong rose up and took over the mainland of China. The old Chinese government fled and left to Taiwan. And so when the communists took over, Taiwan was like the stronghold of the old Chinese regime. And America, I think it was Great Britain at the time, came in and protected the old Chinese leadership because they were the ones that made all the deals with the British. When China first became communist, they kicked all the Europeans out. It was damn near like what happened with Venezuela, what happened with Colombia and South America. Same thing happened in the Middle East. When these Middle Eastern countries reverted back to their own governments, their own religions, they got rid of all the European powers that were influencing their, infrastructure and resources. Britain wanted to protect those good old the cats they used to do business with, so they protected them in Taiwan. And then World War II came up. China helped defeat Japan in the Pacific and all of that. So America and Britain was like, all right, man, we're going to give y'all Taiwan back, but it just never actually made the transfer happen. But in the minds of the Chinese and in all of the treaties that the West and these European countries have signed with China since then, on paper, Taiwan belongs to China.
Right.
But America has kept a base there. Europeans have kept their businesses there. So the Chinese couldn't just come in and straight up communize Taiwan. Well, now, today, in the last 30 years, America has used Taiwan like, it's yours, China, but y'all better not come over there because we'll drop the bombs if we have to. And so now today, with everything America is doing with Venezuela, America coming out with this Monroe Doctrine, and they taking over the whole Western Hemisphere, China is looking at that like, well, the nerve of y'all to say y'all can protect y'all land, but you going to hold Taiwan from us? Nah, player, we taking that back. And so that's just a little bit of backdrop history for people to understand what's taking place. When you hear about Taiwan and China, the media here make it seem like the Chinese is evil and they're trying to take over this independent place. It's like trying to take over Puerto Rico. If the Chinese came and was like, yeah, B, Puerto Rico, ours, America, we finna take that. America, nigga, that's part of America. That's that's what's going on with that whole situation.
So it's more like Ukraine and Russia.
It's exactly like Ukraine.
Yes.
Which is why the Chinese are not allowing America to play with them behind Taiwan, because America right now, America is the war that's being fought in Ukraine. Them Ukrainians ain't got no weapons, ain't got no military. So China's watching what's happening with Russia, and they like, bro, y'all got us effed up if you think we finna just let you play us like y'all playing Russia right now. When you spoke about what happened earlier this week, Cap, with the Russians sending jets to Britain, Russia right now has put missile defense systems in Belarus that can reach to Germany, reach to France, reach to Great Britain. And so right now, like with China going to Taiwan and running a military exercise, they're testing the other nations' defense systems and their response times. China, with this drill they've been doing the last couple of days, actually has surrounded Taiwan and blocked Taiwan off from any outside help. That's what they're not actually saying. China has taken over the land, the waters around Taiwan. Now, Taiwan has bases on it, has its own defense systems, but the Chinese have basically made a move to be like, now how y'all going to take it back? What y'all going to do? And at the same time, Russia has put them weapons in Belarus. The countries between Russia and Germany, which is the Netherlands and Poland and them other countries, they don't went and put bombs and mines on bridges in case Russia decide they want to try to attack to come to these other countries. They're gonna blow all the bridges between China and Germany, and China gonna be, between Russia and Germany, and Russia finna be stuck. But Russia's okay with that if that means they get to keep their land. It's like, damn, they're like, they being pushed to the point where we finna take what's ours, and if y'all want to come to war with us, y'all can, but we not letting y'all play in our backyard no more. That's the approach that Russia and China's taking.
Yeah, because I remember they had a whole big deal over Taiwan. I think it was about 2 years ago. Remember, Nancy Pelosi went down there. She took herself down there, and China caught themselves doing missile drills while she was visiting Taiwan. It's such a monumental thing because I think she was the Speaker of the House at the time. You know what I mean? It was such a monumental thing for her to go do it and represent America. I think Biden didn't go. You know what I mean? So that whole territory they're trying to claim back, like the scriptures say, every man, turn back to himself or be turned back to himself. You know what I mean? And they're trying to make sure America's interest in making all them microchips. They want to make sure they could keep that, because that's what they do, right? They have some kind of the mineral, not mineral. What is it?
The semiconductor.
Semiconductors that they make down there. But do they make it because they have a specific mineral, or
no? It's a factory that they have that is hard to come about. To produce it, to manufacture it at a pace they want it to. They have the best factory for it. And America, they for real, they don't need Taiwan, but because America is building the same factories or have already built the same factories here in America. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. If they're military ready, it's very close to being done. Go ahead.
To add one more thing, a lot of the materials needed to make those conductors come from China. So Taiwan benefits from being right there at China's border because it doesn't take a lot of time to get the stuff from the mines to the factories. What would change if America built those same factories is America still got to go to China to get the materials. Like the big issue right now with what China's doing financially. So another thing that happened the other day, I'm not sure if it's in the articles, China just made an announcement that they're cutting off the sale of silver. Nobody, they're not selling silver no more, right? The issue with that is all of the manufacturing factories for turning silver into wires and different materials for solar panels and for military weapon systems. All the factories for those things is in China.
Right.
So everywhere that silver is produced on the planet, it got to get sent to China because China is the only place that has the factories to turn that raw silver into something that can be actually used. Well, China just said we're not selling no more silver, which means everybody that gives their silver to China, because they control the manufacturing, China decides what the price is on you getting the silver back for whatever programs you're trying to use it for. And so it's putting the rest of the world in the chokehold because it's like, damn, we didn't let China corner the market on everything. They cornered the market on the rare earths. They cornered the market on all the manufacturing for, these AI computer chips and semiconductors. They cornered the market for the silver, which is why for America, Taiwan is so important because we can't let them have the damn island where they doing all the manufacturing for the computer chips too. It's bad enough they got the silver, bad enough they got all the rare earth minerals. We got to at least have something because of the Chinese. And so like knowing the scriptures and how the Chinese do, let them get a monopoly on anything. You finna pay hand and foot and chicken bone for whatever you trying to get from China. They finna do you greasy, dirty, worse than the white. You think the white man bad? Let Moab get in control of something. It's gonna be rough.
So, listen, I'm now the Reuters article. It's saying China names companies allowed to export silver over 2026 and 2027. It's like they like you saying, they're dictating who could do what.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kaplan. I'm gonna line it up to play instead. Go ahead.
Just to add to what you were saying too, I don't know if Kazakh see it in the article there too, but America made a $11 billion weapons deal with Taiwan. You understand? And that happened just before they start doing the drills. So that drill is more than likely, as Saka was saying there, is to stop. Whatever. Wherever weapons you'll have anything from like that from coming in to Taiwan. You understand? Like it's fitting to get real, real good and grimy down there. And that's so good too in a way where for years all these other nations have looked at black people and wondered why we still under this so-called white man who is the oppressor. Why are we under him so much? Now they're getting to see, now they're understanding why we on them. It's not that we want to be on them. It's because this man done abuse us, done, lynched, you name it, he done do it to black people to keep us from rising as a people. The reason why these Chinese have a powerful nation is because the white man allowed them to sit back and allow them to. And now he ain't fitting for them to branch off, not needing anything. You understand? It's the same thing with the Iranian story that we're going to read. Like Iran, Trump and Netanyahu, Trump said that if Iran continue developing weapons, they're going to bomb them. They're going in on them. So you telling me they can't build weapons to defend the country? Why? Because the white man, he allowed them to build their nation up to that point. Now, it's becoming a problem to the so-called oppressor. You understand? And we are in this condition because he's not allowing black people to even rise. Raise their head an inch up. Not even an inch up. You understand?
Come.
You know what I mean? I yield.
Come on, if I may, Captain, I thought what you bringing out is the truth. If I could get a scripture too, sir, Jeremiah 48:11, and this directly is the effect of Esau being an oppressor to us. and being racist towards us. Like the whole cornering of the market China has been able to do comes from the Chinese not suffering slavery like us, not suffering oppression like us, not suffering Jim Crow laws like you Chinese and you Asians. You come over here to America and you benefit off of the white supremacy that has been put on our people, and then you look down on us as if we're not hardworking because you're able to get up high amongst us here in America. The problem is the white man hasn't been on your neck the way he's been on our neck. And so within the past 40 to 50 years, China has been able to bring their entire nation out of poverty as damn near the premier superpower on the earth. And the white man being so evil, he shipped so much of the manufacturing overseas to China to slight black men in the unions, to slight black men in the manufacturing in the urban cities. I'm from the Midwest, and everybody in the Midwest could tell you my father's generation, all of them worked in factories and was able to take care of the family and provide for multiple families. And then Esau took all those factories in the Midwest, from Chicago, from Detroit, from Gary, Indiana, from Ohio, from Eastern Pennsylvania, that entire Rust Belt. Esau sent those jobs to China and to Mexico because it's cheaper, but really to slight us, because black people were able to be self-sufficient off of those jobs.
That's right.
This all ties back into you white people's racism towards us, and why you've been focusing so much on us as if we're the problem. You done allowed Moab now to gain such a strong footing on the earth. And Slaki, this scripture comes to mind right here. Slaki, if I could.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 48 and verse 11. Moab had been at ease from his youth.
Moab had been at ease from his youth. The Chinese do not have a history of going into slavery, of being carried across the four corners of the earth like God's people, like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those Chinese, up until I believe it was Nixon, when they finally opened the door on trading, either Nixon or Carter, I believe it was Nixon. But prior to that, China practiced isolation, and I can't say the word, isolationism. You understand? They kept to themselves. You understand? Up until recently. And because of that, they have been able to hold on to their culture. They have able to now foster a strength in their nation. And you're seeing that strength come to play now because they have been at ease from their youth. They haven't suffered what we suffered. Keep reading.
That's right.
And he had settled on his lease.
Keep reading.
And had not been emptied from emptied vessel to vessel.
Right. The same way, if you could think of the analogy of being poured into one vessel and then poured into another vessel. That's us. We haven't had the chance to build. We haven't had the chance to do anything productive for ourselves because we're constantly being poured into different vessels, constantly move. I was thinking about it today. They raising the rent on the apartments. I'm like, how is it that they able to raise the rent every year? You renew the contract, but the prices of your wages don't get raised. It's almost like you want us to be unstable and have to move somewhere else and to never have stability. Well, this is our lives as blacks and Hispanics. We understand we've been empty from vessel to vessel. You Chinese, Moab, you haven't suffered these things. You've been able to be in one place with your people, with your culture, and there's strength in that. We're seeing it now. There's strength in that stability that you have been able to foster. Keep reading.
Neither had he gone into captivity.
That's what I was just describing. They haven't suffered what we suffer. Keep reading.
Therefore, his taste remained in him.
Keep reading.
And his scent is not changed.
Yeah, see, they have their culture. As much as America and the white man wants to paint China in our eyes as villains, they have a culture that's theirs, that they can have pride in, so much pride that they come to America and still don't learn English. Like you tell the Mexicans to learn. They don't learn English. Right. They come over here and they have Chinatowns. I thought you wanted everybody to assimilate. The Chinese are able to come over here and keep their taste, keep their scent, keep who they are about themselves. And there's so much power in a nation of people that are able to do that. And we watching it play out on a world stage. So like
Right. Hey, most time crying. Let's give it up for that one. Like that for sure is Moab. Like as you say, we didn't have that. We didn't had that time to build like he did. You know what I mean? And stay together and not hate each other and not destroy each other because they have somebody foot on their neck.
That's right.
Like they ain't suffer like us. Go ahead, please.
No, so like I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say to piggyback off what Kazak brought out. You know, you think about the scandal that's going on right now with these Somalians in Minnesota and all the money that they was getting.
Right.
I think back to 1975, 78, when Chinese was able to establish restaurants in our community. They were able to establish chicken joints and get Chinatowns and nail salons, and the Koreans was given the beauty supply stores. Imagine how much money was given to these heathens from the government to establish businesses in our community just to slight black people and to stop us from being able to have actual businesses and power and economic growth in our communities.
Right.
Like these heathens have been feeding off of us for years and years, and it's allowed them to take that money and send it back to their country and build themselves up. You go back to the riots in California, a lot of them things was behind the mistreatment that we were suffering while these heathens were in our communities and our neighborhoods getting over top of us. Go back and watch, the movie Minister Society with the hurry up and buy. That was real Moab pride in the black community. With the Minister Society with the I feel sorry for your mother. These heathens came over here, was given money by the government to establish businesses, to get oranges and bananas and everything else they needed to sell to us while they could sit over top of us and look down on us like, what's wrong with you? Why you can't get yourself together? Because the government is conspiring against us with you to set up businesses in our community to rob us. And all these nations have been complicit in it. And that's why no one is going to bat an eye or feel bad while they all go to war and destroy themselves in this World War III that's about to kick off, because all of them have partaken in the oppression and the evil and the suffering of God's children in this land.
That's right.
I yield, Salaki.
Yeah, you so right, Doc. And nobody's gonna really give a damn, while they do it to us.
That's
like
right.
they're gonna do things to us that is gonna be absolutely insane, unheard of, fucking, downright monstrous. But it would mean for them that they get to continue eating. It would mean for them that they get to continue being in power. And that's why they would allow this shit to happen. They'll allow everything to happen. You think China or Russia or England or whoever else couldn't say, you know what? We put in tariffs on America for how you're choosing the Latinos. You know what I mean? You solve that Latino problem that's going on over there. And until that, we're not buying no more of whatever it is they buy from America. Or we're gonna charge you more to, for what you buy. You think they couldn't just do it? They don't give a damn to do it. They don't give a damn to do it. They watch us get violated and continue making money, which is why when Christ returns, they're all going into slavery. They would have earned it. Nobody could turn around and say, well, I stood with y'all. I helped y'all because y'all didn't. You'll watch it going on. You'll watch it happening. They're all mad about not mad, but they're making us think about the bombings with the boats in Venezuela.
Yeah.
The Britain say they ain't giving America no more intel. They say, hey, we ain't gonna give America no more intel. But who's really making a stance against it? Nobody. Nobody don't give a damn. The CIA just lead a whole bombing yesterday at a port in Venezuela.
Yeah.
First ever land attack by America that claimed lives and everything. Nobody don't care about it. Nobody don't care about us. They cry for the Palestinians. They'll cry for Somaliland. They're going to cry for Taiwan. They're going to cry for, them people in Israel or the Gaza or whoever else. They're going to cry for everybody. But when it comes to us, their tears is shut. Their hands, it can't move to do anything to stop what's going on with us. And that's why it's so important we turn to the Lord for sure. But they would have earned every bit of slavery they get. Every single one, you Moab, you're gonna be poured out from tribe to tribe. The Bible says you ain't been poured out into a vessel, into another vessel. You're gonna be poured out from tribe to tribe. Get ready to learn languages and culture and learn how to do things. 1 minute you're gonna be in Benjamin, the next minute you're gonna be in Ephraim. Next minute you're gonna be under Gad foot.
Right.
About Silva and all this type of shit. Like the things you all do and the moves you all make without even considering the people who backs you're standing on. That's it's beyond foul.
That's right.
Beyond foul. You know what I mean? Did you all want to hear the video to hear what he had to say?
Come.
Let me see. Just let me know if I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you could hear it.
I want to emphasize that the Democratic Progressive Party authorities stubbornly adhere to the stance of Taiwan independence, attempting to seek independence through the US, even at the cost of turning Taiwan into a powder keg and an ammunition depot. This fully exposes their vicious nature as peace destroyers, troublemakers, and war instigators. External forces, by using Taiwan to contain China and arming Taiwan, will only embolden the arrogance of Taiwan independence and push the Taiwan Strait towards a dangerous situation of military conflict. The Taiwan issue is the core of China's core interests, and China's resolve to safeguard national sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity is unwavering. Any vile act of crossing the line and provoking on the Taiwan question will be met with China's firm countermeasures. Any sinister attempt to obstruct China's reunification will never succeed.
He said any attempt to stop China's reunification will never succeed. Right. Yeah, they might be the wrong ones to push, Esau.
Yeah.
Y'all better go try somebody else. They might be the wrong one. They might say, listen, they might be like any jilted lover. They might say, listen, if I can't have Taiwan, no one can. Right. They might just say that. If I home Jung Jung Cheng, no one can. Jung 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 Cheng. And that'll be that shit out.
Salaki too, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you see what the heathen said too, he said, everybody is seeing the vicious nature of these people, how they are peace breakers. Like, this is prophecy letting you know that the end of this society is near, and the beginning of Christ's rulership is near, because the Bible says Christ can't return until that man of sin, that the son of perdition, be revealed. You got Chinese people now telling you what we've already known since 1969. Since 1619, since 1492, since 70 AD. Now the world is finding out this is not sweet white Jesus.
That's right.
These aren't the peacemakers. These aren't the heroes. This isn't Superman. This is what's his name? This is Homelander.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
White people, you're not Superman, you're Homelander.
That's it.
And Black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been trying to tell you this entire time, and you said we were complaining and we were looking for a handout, and now you're seeing what we've been saying come true. The white man is the devil. That's what he should have just. I'm waiting for a world leader to just come out and say it. Just, these white people are devils. I think the closest one was Chavez when he said, "I smell sulfur."
Yep. he said the devil has come out to him.
That's right.
He said that's the closest one.
That's the closest one. Like, you world leaders got to stand up and call this man out for who he is. You take a note or two from the UPK. We call the white man the devil in the nation's capital, down the street from the White House. Surely, with all your nuclear weapons, I hope you're not scared to call him the devil with all your nukes and your weapons. Call him the damn devil in these interviews, man. That hit different. Call him the devil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Salaki, Captain Shock. I put it in the chat for you if you want to run it. I'm already in the process of making a clip out of the Chavez. And this is why they going in Argentina. This is why they going in Venezuela. You want to know why they so hell-bent at going to Venezuela? I guarantee you, this ain't about no oil. This ain't about no, strategic command of the coast, because America the Venezuelan government already said, we'll give y'all all the oil fields, man. Y'all come on here and bring business. We ain't want no smoke. Yep. America still got a vendetta because they trying to establish, when you speak the truth and you talk about us this way, we coming to get you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. He's speaking at the beginning, sir. If you just go back to the beginning, hit play, he's talking during all of that.
Yesterday, the devil came here. I think that the first people who should read this book are our brothers and sisters in the United States, because their threat is in their own house. The devil is right at home. The devil himself is right in the...
Yo, Chavez saw a tape from 1969. Right. There's no way he's saying that just on the strength. He got to see a tape on the street commanding Johnny Yahanna about the 7 heads. One of them saying the white man is the devil. But he said the devil is home. He's right there home. Oh, man, come on.
In 2006, too.
In 2006, he saw a tape. I'm sure he saw it.
In the United States, because their threat is in their own house. The devil is right at home. The devil himself is right in the house. And the devil came here yesterday. Yesterday, the devil came here. Right here. Right here. And it smells of sulfur still today.
I didn't know how to say that in Spanish. He said something about sulfiada. Like that.
Smells of sulfur still today. Right here. And it smells of sulfur still today.
I don't learn that shit out. It's devil comes to come. I'll be like,
This table that I am now standing in front of. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, from this rostrum, the President of the United States, the gentleman to whom I refer as the devil, came here talking as if he owned the world. Truly, as the owner of the world.
If that is not Job 9:24, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's Job 9:24 right there, boy. Like, listen, the brother asked a question in class tonight. What should Maduro do? Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian leader should call Commander Johnny Yahanna and learn the truth.
That's right.
Every single one, because you don't understand fully what's going on. You might be able to, make out the silhouette of what's going on, but you don't see the detail in it, boy. He talk like if he run the world, because he runs the world.
Right.
Yeah.
He owns the world. God gave it to him. Man.
I think we could call a psychiatrist to analyze yesterday's statement made by the President of the United States. As the spokesman of imperialism, he came to share his nostrums to try to preserve the current pattern of domination, exploitation, and pillage of the peoples of the world. An Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Wow.
Listen, he definitely went all the way with it.
Concert.
You know what I mean? He definitely went all the way with it there. He didn't hold back at all.
And that's, again, the white man, they take a serious affront to that type of public, checking. Check them in public like that and expose them and talk about them on the world stage. In their mind, we gotta make an example.
Barack.
Hey, y'all was Shabbat the Thumb. Water for inviting me out. Please continue.
So, like I was just saying, that a statement that Chavez made at the UN back in 2006, that they've never forgotten about that. You know what I mean? And ever since then, they were putting pressure on the Venezuelans back then, because when Chavez and them took over that government, you know, what they were saying publicly was we're going to take these oil fields and give it back to the people and get these resources and make money. And the white man took offense to it the same way, you know, that you go back to when they was invading Iraq, when they invaded Iraq. They made it about the oil and about going and getting this and that. But when they had W. Bush in a press conference and asked him what was really behind going on, he was like, man, that man tried to kill my father, man. He tried to kill my daddy. And we didn't want to stand for that. He tried to threaten my daddy's life, so he got to go. And that was what they really wanted to get Saddam Hussein out because of that. They was already getting oil from Saudi Arabia. They was already getting oil from, you know, them other OPEC countries. But a statement needed to be made because, you know, that cat Saddam Hussein had the nerve to try and, you know, fight them during that first Gulf War and try to tell them what they can and can't get. When Chavez went before that UN and said the devil was here, I still smell the sulfur. That marked him and his regime, you know what I'm saying, for a message to be sent by America. And that's what they're doing today.
They ain't gonna let that shit rest.
You know, so
yeah, it's definitely gonna be it's gonna be a sight to behold this next year coming. The war already started.
Yeah.
I mean, from Venezuela to Nigeria, then China acting, you know, we're gonna see how they're gonna take this thing forward.
There's a lot. So I'm not sure if it's in the stories now. We talked about Taiwan and the Chinese sending missiles that way. I know we have a story about the Somaliland being annexed by the Israelis, but I heard a story the other day. I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to verify it, that Saudi Arabia fired missiles on Yemen.
Yeah.
No, it's on Yemen or the people who up against Yemen, because you know they divide Yemen in two. Yemen, I think above them is the United Arab Emirates, like they're in lines with the United Arab Emirates. I think they fire on them. You know what I mean?
That whole area there, that Somaliland, that Yemen, you know what I'm saying? That whole corridor leading into the Red Sea, that's prime real estate right now with what's going on with all of this uncertainty and with all of these minerals and being able to get goods in and out to Israel. That Red Sea is a very pivotal piece of land right now. And what's going on with that Somaliland and the unrest with the UAE and Saudi Arabia, like the all of this posturing and all of this taking over a territory that's being done, these nations know that whoever's, you know, as all of this civil diplomacy falls apart, they got to be ready to say, well, we don't need to do deals with y'all because we got this under control, or we got this land, or we going to be able to protect ourselves in this kind of way. And that's how wars are going to pop off, because nations are realizing if we get cut off right now, we cut off forever. And so all of these little small pieces of land are absolutely, it's the camel that's it's the straw that's breaking the camel's back. Like America has been putting straws and straws and straws, and now everybody's at their breaking point. And Lord allow, in this next coming days, next hours, it could be somebody's back is going to break, and it's going to be all hell let loose and biblical prophecy being fulfilled with the war that the Lord is going to bring on this earth. Salaki.
And if I could jump in there off that. Oh, so go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and it's heavy because that's Somaliland, Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, all that whole region of those people, the Ethiopians. When you go into Ezekiel, that's one of the nations that's going to be one of the major players in the Third World War. You got Persia, you got Libya, you got Ethiopia. You read that in the scriptures. And they gonna and I remember Commander Yahanna said that at my first Passover. He said, "Man, when you see Africa get into the mix, that's when you know the World War III is not." That's when you know it's getting closer. So I've been looking for stuff to go down in this area, that Ethiopia area, and the North Africa, which already went down with the Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger coming together. So that's a force right there, and I'm looking at their development of that area region to see how powerful they become. And now this area right here is coming up on the game. So, you know, all it takes is for these areas, once they are kind of the eyes are on them, for them to modernize and become stronger, and then they're going to be in position to really join with Iran and Russia, and they all make that march to the Middle East, which the scriptures say they're going to do. They're going to all march to the Middle East, shield and buckler in hand. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a major corridor right there. And it's major. You know, we said years ago the Most High said that D-Dan would get in it, which is Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia, this is probably the first time Saudi Arabia attacked that region in 3 or 4 years from fighting the Houthis, which means they're getting drawn in it, which means there's a very high probability that Iran will get in it. And if Iran gets in it, then you in the full blown prophecy. And what's amazing about it all is how the Lord is just dragging every nation into it. Egypt is going to have to take a side. Jordan is going to have to take a side.
Yeah.
Many of those countries in that area are going to have to take a side. You know, the rest of that northern African corridor, they're going to have to take a side. And it's going to draw in more and more. Turkey is going to have to get more involved as we go on. Ukraine is trying to do their thing by bombing Putin's house, which is going to draw him in it. Like the whole world is bubbling and ready for a whole full-out war. And the Lord is making sure that even down there, you understand, in the Caribbean and Central South America, they are not even going to be immune to what's going to happen. They're going to be caught up in it as well. So it is really looking like, you know, a real spectacle is about to jump off. And it is beautiful. It is clearly bringing us to where we're supposed to be. Now, hopefully everybody don't back down and be scared of the U.S. or the U.S. be scared of them.
Right.
And they go on and bring the prophecy all the way through.
Right.
But they definitely looking now like they trying to really get it on. Because for some reason, some people know things that's coming in the future in terms of technology. And they know that if they don't step in it now, their country is going to be, just like you said, their country will be, they're going back to being peasants. They're going back to being peasants in about 2 seconds if they don't get some of this technology that's going on. Because all the other countries will do is fly in there with their drones, and they won't even be. This will become a war that doesn't even use manpower anymore.
Right.
They'll just bring in drones and bomb the hell out your country, and never stop bombing it until there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So they know this. So they know they gotta try to get a stake in it. It's so big. It's so prophetic. And like the Lord said, they that are confederate with thee have brought thee to the border. They're going right to the border of the Third World War, believing others are with them. Europe believed America was with them for quite a while. Now they understand what was going on. Qatar believed that the U.S. had their back and nobody would touch them until the Israeli bombed them. And I heard, y'all get me right on this, I heard that Iran bombed Israel. Is that correct? Or not true? Unconfirmed.
Well,
Unconfirmed.
So like they have threatened to do so. In fact, Iran has recently threatened to go out full out World War III with everybody, including America.
I heard.
Having in the stories.
I heard they must have saw the blueprints on what they wanted to do with them. They must have saw the blueprints on what they trying to do. What you heard about that deal with Somaliland means that they're supposed to take 2.5 million Palestinians from Israel and put them back in that land.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So like, sir, if I could,
Please.
The message that the Iranian spokesman made a speech yesterday, and the message that he sent was very similar to the one that the Chinese sent about their operations in Taiwan, and that and Iran sees that the only way to protect their self-interest is to act as though they're already at war with America and Israel. It's like because of the sanctions that America is trying to put on them economically and the pressures that they're trying to put on them to not develop any type of weapons or defense systems, is like if we don't act now as though we're at war, we're going to be slaves, and we refuse to be slaves. What is taking place in Iran right now is this is what the media is saying. The Mossad is in there causing the people to riot in the streets trying to overthrow the government. Very similar to what they did in Egypt during the Arab Spring, very similar to what they tried to do in Syria, very similar to what they did in Libya when they overthrew Muammar Gaddafi. And the Iranians know that what happened with Russia and Ukraine, what's happening with China and Taiwan is happening to them, and they're saying out loud, we're not going to let it happen to us. That's why Netanyahu was up there with with Trump yesterday. They gave Israeli Man of the Year award or something they made up, and
they know how to kiss his ass, don't they?
Like they know how to rub that white man palms real good. But one more thing, sir, and our land is Netanyahu tried to foster a deal where America for the next 20 years is going to support Israel to the tune of I think like $62 billion a year or something. He tried to get Trump to sign the deal. Right now, America commit to the next 20 years. But again, everybody is positioning themselves because they know that right now is the moment of all moments. And if whatever side you on now, the winner or the loser, that's how it's, the time is right now. So like,
He's something like he trying to get some of that Saudi Arabian money. Not Saudi Arabia or Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Remember, he first came and Trump said, we're talking about 600 million. And in 5 minutes, he said, we see if he could do $1 billion or $2 billion.
Yes, he did. I saw that interview. You're right.
Yeah, so he trying to get some of that Saudi money indirectly. He trying to make sure he gets some of that good money indirectly because they in a full out, like the gates open on all they lost right now. They want oil, they want the money, they want the power, and they're in a position now where they could just push you aside and brush you under the carpet because you're no longer part of the plan anymore. We done built the economy, they done built the empire, we built the infrastructure. They don't need us anymore. And it's down to, like I was saying before too, like that AI is really trying to replace the Holy Spirit. It's really trying to replace us because that's who it's really replacing. The AI is taking, the things we would do and now is doing it for them. And they really, looking at us like we really don't need these, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians anymore. We got it all. If we want entertainment, the AI could rap. If we want war, the AI could fly the drone. If we want, sports strategy, the AI can show us how to run faster and do this and do that. Like making sure they don't need us anymore because their lust is totally gone, straight to the heavens now. They're dreaming big and they're going big and they're willing to push anybody aside for it. They don't care anymore. Like there's no shame anymore with anything. They're not hiding it. They're not doing anything like that. They're just going forward with it. You in their way, they drop 2 bombs. You either for us or against us, and we keep moving. That's it.
Yeah. They're making such a mistake. They're making such a carnal man's mistake in all their moves. You know what I'm saying? They're making just they're on autopilot now.
Yeah,
that's right.
They just can't be stopped. They can't. They're just trying to go for the whole Roman, empire, and take it all over. But this ain't Rome. This is we in the age of hypersonic weapons, space age weapons, nuclear weapons, biological weapons. You know what I'm saying? We in a whole different arena, and the problem is so many nations have so much of these kinds of weapons. Like the Lord done allowed them to go overboard with the things that they have so that they could go off. And it just takes one small nation and this whole thing could be in a mess. And even the people they've conquered already, they haven't gone to sleep either. You know what I mean? Iraq hasn't gone to sleep. Afghanistan hasn't gone to sleep. You know what I mean? Lebanon hasn't gone to sleep. Syria hasn't, these nations still exist and
That's right.
filled with people that want revenge. You know what I mean? While they trying to run up into Nigeria and South America. I mean, is the whole world is about to get spread so thin.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? But it is glorious. It's a beautiful time to truly humble yourself and pray to the Lord and follow those laws, statutes, and commandments. Shake off the little things, and definitely is a beautiful time to not turn our back in the wake of all this Christmas and New Year's. People are losing their mind. I went out for an hour or two today, and I said, you know what?
Time to go back in.
I'm a pass on the day. I said I'm a pass on the day.
Yeah.
Because today and tomorrow, these fools are going to lose their mind. So many people are going to lose their life.
Yeah.
So many women are going to get violated and drugged up and messed up. They just found a group of Edomites, white supremacists, who had little babies. Y'all heard about that, right?
No,
They was
sir.
keeping these babies underground, these black babies underground, sexually assaulting them, raping them, all that. And they was underground in one of those hillbilly states, and the FBI came in and raided it. So these people are like out of their mind. I think they were trying to traffic them, or prostitute them out or something like that. And I mean little babies too. And so it's this is the place where all the demons are finally unleashed. It's almost like Trump in his own lust and his own style has allowed all the demons in these Edomites to come forth, which is also triggering Jake, because Jake ain't having it. And he's very frustrated. So many jobs are being cut off, especially in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
They losing jobs like crazy, and nobody's interested in giving out jobs to black people like they did before. And on top of that, the real estate market is very, very shaky. The real estate market is very shaky right now. So if it makes it through the winter, they got one shot to try to make something happen the next summer. And if that doesn't work, it might crash.
Yeah.
It might crash by then. You know what I'm saying? So the world is like the scripture said, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yeah.
Like the harvest they ripe for this shit now. And the arrogancy is gone through the roof, which the Lord said 6 things he hates. One of them is that proud look. And these Edomite nations got the proudest look right now.
That's right.
They feeling super duper proud. They are being ruthless about how they feel and about humanity. And so it's about to get it on. Salaki.
Yeah, count. They definitely, like you said, the pride in them. So like they don't even, like in the past you would see where they would be coming together to do something, and they would have little checks and balances. Now we can't do this, we can't say that, we can't do this.
Right.
But now they don't give a damn, publicly, and so much is even they turn on their own, like how he turned on Marjorie Taylor Greene. He called her Marjorie Traitor Green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really in the full flight of, if you not with us, you are against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for people in the world, it's very scary. But if you in the truth, you would know, like how the general is saying, you living in prophetic times. You living in a certain time now where it's like, okay, No, they getting together. This is more signs. Each man will turn unto his own. Every man will turn into his own land and turn to his own people. This is signs. Okay, it's getting there now. You had to look for your people. But the Christian in the world, Jamal Bryant and them, they can't explain to their congregation what's really going on.
Yeah.
Because they're too blinded by the loss. They want to get the most and want to serve whoever that would give them into their life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's no explanation for what's going on right now at all. Like, why is this happening? What is the church saying about how they're bombing in Venezuela or how they bomb Nigeria? What are they saying? They ain't saying nothing but
Not a single word.
yeah, nobody's saying anything. Like,
He had Salaki Cat. He had a tape saying the church has failed. The church has failed. I couldn't believe it. He said, "We have not helped the people.
Wow.
We have not come together and given direction." He was all there trying to, of course, act like he wasn't the church. He the very one that did the deed and acting like he's not the one that did the deed.
Yeah.
And so basically, once again, they're feeling out of sorts.
That's
But their plan will be the same. Their plan will be to convince all the people to not listen to us.
That's right.
That'll be their go-to because they'll know. They already know. They're already saying to themselves, these Israelites are growing exponentially.
Yeah.
If we don't do something about this, we won't have no churches no more. We got these great mortgages and all that. They know where their bread is buttered. You know what I mean? They have made a cesspool of the black woman in these churches, man. They have made a cesspool of her and made the abortion clinics rich.
Right.
And they know it. You know what I mean? And they know that we are here to straighten out what is crooked. And they don't want no parts of it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be pressing up against us. And going to Esau to do it. I could see them all trying to get together and go into Trump to say, we'll sacrifice the ghetto if you give us something.
Yeah.
They'll approve or be down with Trump wiping out the majority of us in poverty, just like Kamala Harris was talking about. If it means that they get sustained and get to keep their money and get to prosper and be part of the kingdom, they'll gladly serve us up and all the poor and all the hood for their own benefits.
Right.
You know what I mean? Thank the Lord for these scriptures.
That's right.
I yield. What?
That's right. So that's right.
If I could, sir, you're saying so heavy. I mean, and it's like when I think about these churches and these mosques, none of what's happening is going according to their plan.
Right.
I mean, we the only ones here breaking down these scriptures and looking to see where the Lord's which direction the Lord's coming from. That's how I feel like we just say here, which direction is he coming from, based off what's happening. I mean, well, versus the Christian church who thinks this empire is the Christian church probably thinks Christ is coming to the White House to sit down with Trump. I mean, they think we're gonna be here forever until they die and then they go to heaven.
Yeah.
We believe the heaven is coming to earth. So that's why I think the ISUPK under you, Commander Yahanna, because I know exactly what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I'm not confused at all as to what's going on. I mean, we sitting there, we watching everything that's going on, we're breaking it down, and we're expecting Christ to come back versus everybody else who's waiting to die and go up to meet Christ. Salaki, I yield.
Yeah. And if I could add too, could you imagine being a Christian in America, believe in the pie in the sky, God got a blessing for you, and then you start hearing the Trump rhetoric, and you start hearing about these different groups, and start hearing about deportations, and start hearing about all of this. I'm sure they got to be saying to themselves, "Let me go talk to Pastor because what is going to happen here? What is going to happen to us?" and pastor has no answers.
Right.
Pastor, even the answer he gives is not going to be sufficient because they're gonna know he's lying.
Right.
So as they know he's lying, it's going to be a problem, and he knows it, and he's out on a limb with it, and it is just going to be an absolute mess. And he will conclude. These pastors are not dumb. He will conclude that we got a clean house of all these rebels and make master happy. That's exactly what the taskmasters attitude was when Moses went to go speak to Pharaoh.
Right.
And Moses came back from speaking to Pharaoh. They was angry with Moses because he was jeopardizing their positions. He was jeopardizing their positions, and that's why they said I'm paraphrasing. You put a bad taste in Pharaoh's mouth concerning us. You know what I mean? Once again, they was thinking of themselves. Like, what are we gonna get? Or how are we gonna be looked at by the kingdom? When Moses, being a man of God, just like an ISUBK, filled with men of God, means that they don't think about themselves first. They're thinking about the health and benefit of the entire nation, which is exactly what Moses was seeing. And they tried to come in and interfere. They tried to slow that down. It's such a theme through the Bible. And boy, for them to wake up now in them churches, seeing what's going on, seeing we coming to the end, seeing that everything they were fighting for is crumbling before their eyes. They looking for a sacrifice to put on the altar of Esau.
Right.
They are looking for it. Salaki, I yield.
And just to add to what you're saying too, sir. Yeah, I mean, those of you Christians out there, I would like you all to go ask your pastor this question, because I'd love to hear his answer pertaining to this. Because general, for years you in the church, you hearing that what God loves everybody.
Yep.
But lo and behold, America, which has nuclear weapons, you understand, has an option. I forget what America option is when it comes to the use of nuclear weapon, in which they will destroy the whole entire earth and then repopulate it after with people who survive it. You understand? Then you have Israel that has the Samson option, which is to destroy whoever is, if it's the entire earth, and then repopulate it after. Then you have Russia that has an option also too. So all these countries have options. What's your option, black man? Go ask a preacher what your option is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's your option when this place goes into war? What's your option? You're gonna pick the side or the lesser evil? You understand? What side are you gonna pick? You're gonna pick China. China don't want you. You understand?
Yeah.
Let's say China win the war now, Pastor. We're gonna be slave to Chinese people now?
Right.
Go ask your pastor. Come on. Pastors, they give them all the bread, give them all the money, all the wisdom in the world. Ask them these questions and see what happens. You understand?
Yeah. If I put like as you say in it there, like they have so many other options, and as they have their okay, we could do this if shit go left. They on the backside coming together and plotting how they could fully destroy us using their law. Like I don't know if you heard about the brother in Maryland, the Kilmer Abrego brother, who they wanted to deport to Kenya and all that, all that place. Now you know it came out that all the charges he facing now was on purpose by the Department of Justice in retaliation for him just fighting the wrongful arrest.
Wow.
Like all of that shit really was just because he decided to make a stand and not just take the charges. They're considering right now dropping the whole case, saying he never tried to smuggle nobody in, all of that. So imagine they would hang that up and parade him like, he's a gang member, this, that, he was trafficking people. None of that shit was true. That's what they're alleging right now. They say that whole shit come from the DOJ under the advice of somebody else with Homeland Security and the FBI and all that, just because he fought the wrongful arrest.
Man,
imagine that's what you facing. If they don't disappear and you somewhere, God knows where, and can't make a phone call. If you do make a phone call and get a lawyer, they just gonna put so much a case on you. You're gonna spend more time in jail fighting to be free than anything. And you'll just boldly do it and not have any probable cause or nothing. And just like they really in their time in the earth right now. They're really in that time. They're in it and they're smelling it. They're enjoying it. They could inhale. They could take a deep breath and be like, yes, okay. Like that you could see that's how they feel. There's nothing to stop us now. We're gonna get it and we're gonna just say what it is, and anything else. Even this week, they say in DC, Trump put his name on the Kennedy Center.
Right.
So it's no longer the Kennedy Center, it's the Donald Trump and JFK Center. They say everybody canceled their performance. All the New Year's Eve, New Year's performances, they all canceled. The Trump administration is saying these people are suffering from the word was just in my head. They made up a syndrome. It basically saying is they're overreacting, but it's some kind of syndrome. And I'm like, is
it the what they call the Trump syndrome?
It's something to deal with him, but I don't
like some effect that they say that people having some syndrome about him.
Yeah,
it's a good way to dismiss, what he's doing.
Yeah, people Trump derangement syndrome.
There it is.
TDS. They say Trump derangement syndrome. They derange. I remember they said people who ran away from the plantation had the drapetomia. They had a medical condition that makes them want to just run away from slavery, and that was a mental condition. Meanwhile, you're just dismissing what people are actually standing up against because they feel oppressed. Like all these was big concerts they would normally have. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, this, that. People canceling jazz concerts that they was doing for 20 years. They're not performing over there. They're not doing it. And they call it Trump derangement syndrome. So it's people really feeling themselves. Like if Christ don't come back and set the record straight in 100 years, the books will say after COVID, the public took on serious mental illness where they all turned against the one true leader, Donald Trump, who was a pioneer and a pillar for. They'll write it as if it was some evil curse in the world that came up against him, not that he was the evil one.
Meshach, this adds to what you're saying too. He did that whole thing to the presidents and them where he writes and what he wrote about Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. Yeah.
On the wall. I'm on Biden. He's like the worst president ever. Like imagine that. Like that's who you're dealing with. Like imagine he put out in the White House. I don't know if you heard about that one already.
You talking to me? No, I haven't heard of that.
You know how
if you was talking to me, Salaki.
Salaki, you know how he redid the White House with all the gold trimmings and
right.
They say he redid the whole the wall, the hallway where all the presidents are. And he rewrote things about them. And he was on Biden and Obama, the worst president ever, something.
Damn. He's like a little brat.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. And there's footage of people who came there, recently, like the Netanyahu and all of them, and they're walking through the hall, and that's what's on the wall.
Wow. Like what a selfish little brat.
Yeah.
So like it, sir, if I could,
Mm.
that Trump derangement syndrome was first coined on December 14th when Donald Trump made a statement about Rob Reiner being unalived by his son the night before.
Wow.
Rob Reiner is a famous Hollywood producer that was, he had his views about politics and stuff, but really was vocal about all the corruption and the evil going on in the Trump White House. The cat suffers a tragedy. His son is mentally unstable, unalives him and his wife, and there's a big outpouring of people, sad what happened to Rob. Donald Trump made a post and was like, yeah, he suffered from Trump derangement syndrome, and maybe he would still be alive if he hadn't been saying all those horrible things about me.
Damn.
The first time it was used in this Salaki, if I could, today. He did a press conference today in the Oval Office with Kash Patel and his personal lawyer, who's head of the Department of Justice, and Newt Gingrich was in the room. And Donald Trump, in the middle of they talk about whatever they talk about, says, yeah, we have Newt here. Newt, you said something nice about me recently. You said, you think I'm one of the top presidents, but it was one thing, Newt, you said, you would put me maybe second to Washington, and that's where you messed up. When you mentioned me, you look at these names on the wall. He showed all the presidents, Jefferson and Washington and all these great cats. He was like, it's me times 100. It's me times 100, then it's everyone else. And it's like,
wow.
He's flipping out. The boy is delusional.
Salaki, sir, I don't know if you heard, they said that there's been certain nurses and medical specialists have been pointing out certain things about his hands and his ankles and stuff, and they say he's in the early stages of dementia.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like he's wigging out on a whole nother level. If he's getting that petty, like that's petty on another level.
Yeah.
Like that's so beneath the office that he's in.
Yeah.
But he seems to be unconcerned with that. You know what I mean? And he got a hatred for that old Obama boy.
Yeah.
So like if I could, sir, Donald Trump is the epitome of Esau. In that it's a cat who did everything wrong. He knows he's corrupt. He knows he's, the things that he's done. But to call him out on it is like, how dare you speak on how dare you talk bad about me? How dare you talk down on me? I believe the press conference today, the question that was asked was, how do you feel about the media saying that you've weaponized the Department of Justice and you're going after your political opponents? And Donald Trump said, what do you mean? They prosecuted me 5 times. They had me I got a mugshot. They took a mugshot of me in the New York Times, and I was the vice president. I just was the president. I'm not politicizing the Department of Justice. They did it. With all the things that he was today, the independent investigator of his indictment that he got for the things he did after he left the White House, the records dropped today. They unsealed the grand jury testimony of the Jack Smith, I believe his name is.
Now was that secret federal grand jury?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they said that's pretty bad.
They released the file. They released it today for the public to go look and see. And this independent investigator said, I do my job regardless of any politics. I look at the facts, and if there's a case to be brought, I bring a case. And we looked at all the evidence and looked at what was done and what was said, and the president violated the laws. He violated the rules, and that's why we brought the prosecution. But in Trump's mind, it's a witch hunt. They're coming after me. Salakia.
That is crazy.
And so in retaliation, now that he's the president, he's trying to lock up the prosecutor, the nigga that was in charge of the FBI, Comey. He tried to go after the lady that sat on one of the courts, the black lady, not Ketanji Brown. What's the one that he tried to bring up on charges saying she committed real estate fraud? That
The
whole
sister in New York.
City prosecutor.
Yeah.
He's going after all of them because they had the nerve to indict him on crimes he committed. He's looking at them like, I don't care what crime I did. Y'all supposed to let me slide because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
When no, you a criminal. Like he hates the idea of there being that respect as a person. He hates the idea that he has to get treated like a regular person and have to face justice and judgment for the wrong that he's done. It's like the nerve of y'all for holding me accountable. I'm gonna burn this effort down. So
and he mad as hell over that conviction.
Mm-hmm.
That conviction pissed him off. He can't get that conviction off the record.
No.
He is pissed. Man. That's crazy.
Joe, this is this is what he wrote about Sleepy Joe. This is on the walls.
Wow.
It says Sleepy Joe Biden was by far the worst president in American history, taking office as a result of the most corrupt election ever seen in the United States. Biden's unprecedented. This is on the walls in the White House. You go in there, you read in this thing, and they say he wrote it.
Wow.
And they say he wrote this thing. It said it further down. It said his Afghanistan disaster was among the most humiliating events in American history and resulted in the murder of 13 brave American service members, with many other wounded. Seeing Biden's devastating weakness, Russia invaded Ukraine. Nicknamed both Sleepy and Crooked Joe Biden, was dominated by his radical left handlers. Like he said, Trump would get reelected in a landslide and save America. Like this is what he's writing about all the presidents. Who he like, that's official war.
He probably be mad if you go in there and say, "Praise Jesus." When them Republicans say, "Praise Jesus," he gonna start in on him. He be like, "What?
Yeah,
Jesus ain't save you out there."
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like that's him. Like imagine having somebody like that, and you caught up in New Year's Day. You caught up spending millions of dollars and going out to party, and you don't see who's in the White House. Like you don't. There's no gravity. It doesn't strike you as this is a grave situation. I might need to get this place in order. I might need to start to do things different. Like you carrying on like the witchcraft of Christianity. It makes us willing victims to this empire. Like we don't see, we don't hear nothing, we don't feel it. Like if this is who he is, he's in charge of the world. Everybody is bowing to this man right now. Everybody is bowing to him, genuflecting to him, and this is how he reacts. It's probably not time to celebrate no New Year's. It's probably time to not have Christmas. It's probably time to look at things a little bit different. You know what I mean? So,
you are not lying.
Okay. So, I don't want to grab any of the stories on this. Of course, we did the China one with Taiwan. But they have a few in the Trump administration claims white people are the victims of job discrimination. You have the Dave Chappelle, Costa speaking freely, the special he just did that seemed to be going a little viral. People like it. The Somalian Fourier Khan. So that Dave Chappelle special, he ended off with saying if he ever get compromised, he needs a
what?
He say in this day and age he could get compromised, meaning like they could get to him, whether it's the CIA or FBI, whoever he alluding to. He says so if he gets compromised, he needs a safe word so all his fans know that what he's saying is not him. And he say, I got it. He said the word is I'll support Israel.
Yeah, he said once he said those words, he lied. Whatever he said after
that, it's all right. It's not him talking. It's not. I ain't gonna lie. So this one here is Chappelle. He shows something here. Saying what he was coming up against, everything he was saying, it was just so on point with it. And he put it in a comedy thing, but he's really speaking like this shit here is all the way left.
Yeah.
Salaki, if I could, watching that special, it was almost like he was trying to demonstrate the way a free man can speak. And I know for being for us in the truth, well, okay, I speak personally, right? Being removed from the world for so long and being around righteous men who speak with power and authority and say the right thing all the time and speak freely the way that we do, you can forget that there's a whole world out there of men that have no voice, who aren't able to speak many times because they don't have the words to articulate the frustrations that they're experiencing. They don't have the words to say how they feel and be able to have it come across as them not just being angry or not just being, something that can be easily dismissed. And what, Dave Chappelle did a history lesson in that special and going all the way back to the 1910s and talking about
Joe Jackson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson, the great heavyweight champion, right? And he talked about, he did it wearing a Colin Kaepernick jacket. And you know what I'm saying? He talked about how they was trying to come up against him for going over there to the Middle East and doing a comedy show. And they say their regime is evil and this and that. But hell, Israel just is killing reporters right now. Like, he spoke in a way that demonstrated that there's a cost that comes with being free. You don't just get to speak freely and there's not a sacrifice and there's not a price to pay for it. And you know what I'm saying? He's in the world, but you can look at his career and, he left $50 million on the table and a show that was leading on television at the height of it. And everybody thought he was crazy. Everybody thought he was insane. But he was a man that saw this is enslavement. This is them taking away my freedom to be able to say what I want to say and present myself the way that I want to be presented. And he gave that money up and took that L and disappeared for however many years. But as he's come back with a strength and with the freedom to speak in a way that he feels comfortable speaking. And so, for him to say what he said at the end, it really was like, he was saying, I'm not selling out. But if they find a way to make me sell out or to make me compromise, y'all going to know that I have sold out or they have gotten to me when I say I support Israel. And what that did, that turned and shed a light on everybody saying I support Israel.
Yeah.
Because what business do you have with Israel? What are you talking about? You support Israel? Why, nigga? Like, where'd that come from? And so it was powerful in that he's showing you don't have to say it. you don't have to join them. You don't have to be their slave. But if you do join them, if you are going to, shuck and jive and buck dance, we'll know it because you'll say, I support Israel. You know what I mean? Salaki.
Yeah. I remember he had the beef with them with, when he came out and said what he said. He had a whole beef with them about, taking his rights and taking his money and not giving him what he needed to get. Remember, around the same time, Nick Cannon had the same situation. So he was definitely speaking against the small hats because they sent a small hat comedian after him at Bill Maher. And if anybody know Bill Maher, it's shocking that Bill Maher would go against Chappelle when Bill Maher he pushes the envelope on every interview.
Right.
So that's why he was like, I can't believe Bill Maher gonna come against me for saying it's easier to speak freely in Saudi Arabia than here. He's showing, he's the Jewish man, he'll get to whoever he need to get, but I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want. The special was in my opinion to wow. I think it's a good watch for anybody.
Salak, if I made two, General,
please.
Kawakan, sir, and it's the thing that a lot of these black entertainers, it's like it's something that they all know, but they all scared to talk about for a long time. And General, you brought this up before. These Jewish people are absolutely whoring black entertainers in the industry.
Yeah,
like, they all know that the terrible contracts, that's how they deal with them, the 360 deals and the music. Like it's something that they don't talk about as much outwardly because they don't have the courage to call a Jewish man out. But they all behind closed doors, these Black and Hispanic entertainers and celebrities, they all can't stand the Jewish man because of how he deals with them in the industry.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these brothers is getting courage from watching us, General, from watching you. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't surprise me that they getting
Watching y'all.
finally. So, go ahead, sir.
Watching y'all. Go ahead.
Most High Christ, sir, to finally get the courage to at least push back a little bit, for somebody in the world, because this it's not something that they all don't know about. It's something that they all know. They all disagree with it. They hate it, and they slaves to how the Jewish man operates, but they are scared of losing their livelihood. And so I could imagine you being in some slave contract under some Jewish man, and then you walk down the street, and then you hear some Black man, the Jewish man is not the real Jew. He's the devil. The white man is the devil. It's like, well, damn, that perfectly describes what I'm going through, but I can't say it. So it's like, I suspect we're going to see more and more Black celebrities side with the truth. And it wouldn't surprise me if some of these celebrities don't hit up brothers in the school on, like the brother that came to Christ during the nighttime. Like certain celebrities now reaching out to the school on, how do I deal with this? Which, if you're a celebrity that's watching, that's what you should do. You should come and get counsel from the UPK on how to operate in that realm, because for sure, you do have to walk a tightrope if you're going to be in that space with the Jewish man, or you're just going to be a free man and say to hell with all of that and come do what we do. And I enjoy the freedom of calling the Jewish man an imposter, calling the white man the devil. I came into the truth off of the white man as the devil. So it's a freedom that you entertainers and celebrities, I know you envy us when you see us on the streets. I know you envy us when you hear us speak the way we speak, because for sure your hands are tied behind closed doors on how you can't speak on how the Jewish man is dealing with you so terribly. So like it.
Yep.
Yeah, and they don't even have to really do it. They can play a whole nother role. You know what I mean? We can handle doing that part. You know what I mean? There's other things that they could do as well, but it's beautiful that they are trying to reach out and reposting things that we post and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all good, because of course it gets this word out, and it's the thing, when the Most High, Christ said this, my sheep hear my voice and obey, meaning, brothers that are meant for this truth, they're gonna hear the truth. And they ain't got a choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have you called, if you seriously called up in here, you don't even consider yourself having a choice. You know what I mean? And so it's very good that this word goes out and pulls them all in. And let's face it, they ain't got much options on the Trump side.
Right.
You could do like Snoop Dogg and totally kiss his ass and hope you stay in his good graces, or you could, just be free and say whatever the hell you want to say, since he coming up against everybody else so ruthlessly and so racistly. Why try to bridle the shit now? You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Yeah. So I think a lot of them going to be coming out in the near future, and that's a good thing. I think finally a lot of what went on in the past, we finally learning how that's supposed to be done.
Right.
Something we did not know how to do before. Yeah, man. Like we was kissing everybody's behind, trying to hope that they don't come up against us or destroy our career or whatever the case may be. But now, shoot. And on top of that, they destroying Hollywood anyway.
Right.
Hollywood is falling apart over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They trying to hold on with, Avatar and Wicked 2 or whatever. But that ain't keeping Hollywood floating.
No.
Just them two movies. That ain't how many movies didn't come out.
Yeah.
It show you that they up against, some real heat.
Yeah, I
Man.
think I think Trump realized the same thing you saying. That's why he pushed that deal with Paramount and Sundance, and now that they're trying to take over the whole Netflix streaming with Disney, with Paramount and Sundance, the two major movie houses, and that Sundance made all them Mission Impossible movies, all them good white movies that white men like white supremacist movies. He's saying it. He said, "Let's get people back to the movies because Hollywood is dead. We need to bring Hollywood back home." He said, "All these movies you're filming outside." He said, "Let's revive the movie industry. Let them come here. Let them do it here." So it's exactly what you're saying. This industry has done failed so much. What I mean? But now the truth is out. People thinking different. Of course, him just being the devil, being so greedy, the streaming done took over the movies. They say so prefer stream a series than go to a movie. So much people prefer to do it than go sit in a movie theater. So they for sure trying to bring that shit back.
Yeah.
And also too, so I don't know if I could be right on this, but it's almost as if the small house trying to corner that market now to try and regain their reputation. After a certain amount of years, because I think they're trying to get Warner Brothers too. You understand? And I was looking at one of those. I started looking at one of those documentary on the Real Cowboys. I forget the name of it. It's on Prime, and there's giving you the history and one of the history on the Lone Ranger, and they were saying that the Lone Ranger was actually a black man, right? But the movie, Hollywood portrayed him as a white man, and they say that from doing that, all them white kids started wanted to be a Lone Ranger. That whole that Bass Reeves, that series that was about the Lone Ranger, about that black man that that was was bad at being a sheriff. You understand? But they saw the power behind Hollywood and what it did for their people. You understand? And what it did to our people on the other, on the other side. You know what I mean?
And they learned from World War II. Prior to World War II, the so-called Jew, ran the the movie industry in Germany.
Yeah.
But when Hitler's henchman Joseph Goebbels got in charge with it, they were able to stand by and watch him turn it into such a propaganda machine that they learned from World War II that's the same thing that they had to do. That's why if you notice in the late 40s, early 50s is when the movie industry changed. That's when they had the McCarthy trials where they was calling people communists and locking them up and kicking them out of Hollywood and destroying their careers, because that's when they decided to get rid of tons of the people who were rebelling against what was being put out in Hollywood. And they turned around and said, let's get rid of them and install our vision of what things should be. And that's when they really got down with the propaganda. By the 60s, they were already using agents and creating hippies and making all kind of movements, and they were controlling it and utilizing it in Hollywood, which meant many of those so-called Jews who helped them during World War II, they gave power over the movie industry in the United States, in many cases, to push the same propaganda on Americans. You know what I'm saying? And one of the major ones was, of course, putting it on us. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really look at these cops and the anger and attitude that they have, and you go back and look at the TV shows in the 90s and so forth, they manufactured that anger in those police officers. They put cases, they put on TV shows, cop shows about white cops frustrated over the crime, frustrated over criminals getting away. And so as a result, they showed the actors becoming angry at these criminals and what was going on, and the perceived notion that the system was not good enough to catch these criminals. And as a result, it taught cops who were watching these TV shows, it taught them that it was okay for them to be frustrated and angry when police officers, they could be frustrated and angry when, they were angry, got frustrated with criminals. And so as a result, you got cops today, they're so angry with criminals, and it ain't even a reason for them to be angry. But it's really, they psychologically been played into that mindset. Also, too, if I could throw one more of them out since we talking about it, Shaft, they pushed Shaft, and the movie Shaft became big because Shaft was the first movie about a black cop or they didn't even make him a cop yet, but like a black investigator helping the white cops. Before that, all the movies had black men coming up against the cops and looking at the cops as criminals. You know what I mean? Oh, it's not so-called New Year's Eve, right?
It is, sir. Salaki.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. No wonder, because they out here, brother, shooting up like it's a war zone out here. I'm wondering. I thought it was tomorrow night. It's tonight.
They're gonna do it tomorrow night too, sir.
It's probably tomorrow night too. Right. It's a real zoo out here tonight. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that is in essence what they've been doing since back then. And they've been pushing it on us, and the whole 60s and 70s movies about us on drugs, like the movies work hand in hand with whatever it is that they want to push. Whatever they want the minds of the people to think, they use it to work together with them. And it works good against, when it comes to us. Even, what, something else I noticed too? And I know y'all are gonna agree with me. Do you know how some sisters in the hood talk with a high pitch, ratchet attitude? Like, girl, I ain't gonna do that and that. Y'all have heard that type of voice many times, right?
Right.
Do you know that voice was created by Hollywood? That attitude was created by Hollywood, and millions of black women mimic it today. Yeah. They think that's how they really are.
Right.
Like the youngest child in the ghetto in school does not come up in a house where they say, girl, you did that and that, and I ain't going for that and that, and ratchetly with a high pitched voice. That is totally comes from Hollywood. Right. Totally comes from, movies like Norbit, movies like that, and other movies movies like Big Mama's House and other movies where they interject that character and push that propaganda. What's the movie with I forget the Martin. What's his show was one, and when he played played an older black woman in drag. Y'all remember that? It was like a series of movies.
Big Mama's House was Martin in the drag.
Right.
The woman.
Yeah. Right. That movie, Medea, his show, the Martin show, all of that. The way the sidekick girl, not the wife, but the sidekick girl.
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah. Pam.
Right. That was a Hollywood creation. And now black women walking around with the exact same spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that Hollywood is something in that it is them pushing a spirit on our people.
Yeah.
I yield, Salakia.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, sir. I'll just let you know. I said, I don't know if you want to play a little bit of it is about Dave Chappelle. You know what I mean? If you want to. So
Yeah, I definitely gonna play it too. I was just gonna say too, even general on your point, they have that series everybody going crazy over now called Stranger Things. And there's this black family in there where the boy, he's part of the crew, but he has a little sister. And from the time they introduced her, they're all supposed to be around 12, maybe 13. And when they first introduced her into the show, she probably was about 7 or 8. That was supposed to be her age. And from to now, she is the same loud, ratchet bitch. You can't tell me what to do and boss you all around, being a whole mean person. And now the series is 10 years old. I think that they're supposed to have the finale tonight. And the children are older. And she's supposed to be older. But she has the same persona as when she came in. She has the same exact, she gonna be bossy, snapping the neck. So exactly what you're saying. So is that, that programming. Because you can't tell me like they get everybody. I don't know if you heard so, but they get everybody to play their role, play their age. They get everybody to mature on screen. But she is that, even as a little child, she is that kind of loud, boisterous, and everybody is scared of her kind of way. That type of character. So you so right where they teach us that thing. Even in some shows, some of them white supremacist shows, they'll always introduce the annoying black character.
Yeah.
The hero trying to do something, and this one person, a nurse or office manager, asking him a ton of questions.
Right.
It's just at the point where he about to save the day, and it's to make the audience say, "See there, this nigga, this guy."
Yeah.
It's like they always do it. They always do it by
Yeah.
design.
Just so you could be frustrated and want to, shut this black person up.
Yeah.
That TV show, It's So Raven, or whatever it was, with her called Raven. That was a good example of that same bad character that they try to interject. They also did it with that TV show Queen Latifah was on, where it was a bunch of them women in a house.
Yeah.
Same character. They've been pushing that character on us for minimally about 25 years. And sure enough, we've taken on the character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's quite a few on the men's side as well. Go ahead, Salaki.
No, I was just adding in Monique. That was a real big one. She had Monique.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one. The Parkers was another one.
Yeah, that's the one.
She was a real extreme. The daughter, she was extreme with the character.
Yeah.
Ignorant, loud, going off. And sisters today have the character and think it's normal.
Yeah.
When that was given to them, it's damn near like you suppressed your true personality and put on this personality because you think this personality is what you need to become successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to get over whatever it is you're trying to get over. When that's totally the opposite.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should not do.
Right.
That's right.
And General, that is that is like a testament to the self-esteem we carry as a people, where we would see that on TV and not reject it, but say there must be something wrong with how I am now because I need to be more like that.
Yeah.
there's something we done missed what they did to us so much, where they could show us that, because the Jewish man, he would reject being played a mobster on TV.
Yes.
You can't show their woman in any old way, because they'll say that's not us. But they're able to cultivate an image of us on TV and get us to want to be that instead.
Yes.
If I could, sir, on the opposite side, what y'all saying is so heavy, because I remember on the opposite side for the men, I remember when the movie Friday came out, and I went to school. Everybody had a high-pitched voice like Smokey. Everybody had jokes, and everybody wanted to be Smokey when Friday came out. The only person, the only character who may have influenced young black kids more than Smokey was Scarface.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the only one. But I remember that.
True.
It was like sudden changes in personality. And me and my brother used to look at our friend like, why are you talking like that? You never talked like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You right.
Salaki, sir, when you were speaking earlier about the programming to the white men and the police, what I immediately thought of was the movies Judge Dredd, right? Movie Demolition Man and RoboCop. These were cops who were given, because they justice and order wasn't being served, they had to become judge, jury, and executioner. You go back and watch Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, the cops became the judges and the executioners on the spot. They find a criminal, they take him to court right there in the streets. And if you found guilty, the judge will put you down. You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing with Demolition Man. Demolition Man was about a future where crime just, nobody did nothing. Everybody was all weak and soft, and they had to thaw out Sylvester Stallone to come back from the evil 90s past to come and put a criminal down. Of course, he was a black man. And then RoboCop was about the new next generation police that just kill you right there in the spot. RoboCop catch you and you against him, he gonna take you to trial right there. And that's what's going on with ICE right now. That's what's going on with these police in our communities. Like you right, sir, they absolutely program them that this is, if you want to be the hero, if you want to be the stand-up one and the man of the day, this is how you take charge. And that's why that's what the spirit behind the police is now. It's all
Listen, you right. Like that's why they in that same spirit now. They angry. Like it's like if you are angry about the crime, you're justified in violating the law yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like if you believe, if you are in your heart, these crimes are so wrong and this criminal is so wrong. It's like, oh, you have the right passion. So if you break the law a little bit, it's okay. Because that's what goes on in them shows. I went back, man, and looked at Law and Order. I used to love to watch Law and Order.
Yeah.
The TV show. But I went back and looked at Law and Order, brother, and I said, God damn, this was an evil ass show. Like I went back and looked at it like, oh my God. The evil that they, especially the early episodes.
Right.
Like they treated Jake like terrible. And it was like they was justified because they was pissed at this crime that he committed. Pissed at all this drug money, or pissed because he violated some child or did some heinous act. So they breaking the law to get him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is, ridiculous. You know what I mean? Which once again just teaches them to be criminals when they see a black face. To violate the law and to violate their oath whenever they see a black face, which is exactly what they would do. You know what I mean? Which is exactly what they would do. Well, I guess the hood done shot up all their ammo.
Man.
They ain't no way they got none left to defend their damn house. These Negroes done shot up the whole damn neighborhood for about an hour and a half. They finally stopped.
Yeah.
Sure, man.
Just in about 45 minutes, you're gonna see the red light, the amber lights from the ambulance.
Yes.
It's about 45 minutes. It's gonna be all on your cameras everywhere.
You know what I mean? Ridiculous. And it's totally quiet now. No cars moving, nothing. They back to getting high.
Hmm.
Wicked ass holiday, man.
That's right.
So yeah, so they've been shaping our character, and that's why the Bible, once again, that's why the Bible is so amazing. It's so amazing because you delve into a world that is a true world. The Lord ain't meant on nothing we did, righteous or wicked. You know what I mean? Obeying or not obeying. But you get to delve into that world. And by having an alternative world, you get to examine this world against that world, which helps to open your mind from the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a frame of reference if you're gonna learn exactly who you really were. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need a frame of reference. Like if before you went to jail, if you wore Adidas shoes and sweatsuits and a Kango hat, now when you come out of jail, you done lived a whole different world and a different lifestyle. But at least you have a frame of reference to go back to.
Right.
And you can start there and then update yourself, as needed. Well, guess what? The same thing happened with us. Like we didn't get caught up in it because we had the Bible as a better reference to look at, and balancing it against this world, we start to see how much this world is not a world of the Lord, which breaks us free from the brainwashing, where everybody else is just going with the flow because the flow is all they know. No pun intended.
Yeah.
God, are you?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, man, like without being able to go back and learn about Egypt and Assyria and the Roman Empire, and learn about our empire and the way we were and the way we made decisions and the things we did to live and survive and the things that was our culture. You know what I mean? And in examining those great events written of in these scriptures, we would not have a frame of reference to go back to. All we would know is what's around us.
Right.
All we would know is this, and if they're propagandizing it, then you really have no frame of reference to know that you're being told lies.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have no frame of reference. You have no, connection to be able to say, wait a minute, this is not how we should be. This is not who we are. This is not our way. And without that, you bound, which is why nations in those scriptures in the past did just that. Did just that. Turned around and removed people from their land and put them in other lands just like us.
Right.
The brothers and sisters that came over here to the Americas in the early days and during the Assyrian Empire, they did it leaving the Assyrian Empire. They had already been removed from Israel. They were moved off of their land. So they turned around and, left that land to move to a much further land, which is what they did. You know what I mean? And that's how they got over here. And they still didn't have their identity and stuff. They still had to wait on the Lord, bringing back all the scriptures and the knowledge. And only now is it coming back for everybody to wake up and realize, from our frame of reference, the Hebrews, the black people in the Bible, who we are, and we can get back to ourselves. Malquad was telling me today how they got a saying among all the rappers and stuff, F the streets. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like now they're all saying F the streets because they realize that it's really the prison pipeline. You selling drugs, you getting locked up, you getting murdered, raped, killed, or you just being warehoused for years and years until you come out and half your life is gone. and they ain't seeing no benefit of it. They snitching on each other. There's no organized struggle to help their own. It's only an organized struggle to be selfish. And even in your selfishness, you may end up, destroyed. They said one of the drug dealers that got killed during the so-called Christmas weekend drove around in a Lamborghini in the hood. We talking a $200,000 car. He's driving around in it in the hood. You understand? Putting on the culture and identity of this place. Even the money and the wealth is not making them succeed. You still end up in a box, and who knows who takes your Lamborghini? I guess it goes back to the dealer in most cases. So I guess many of them have now come to their senses and realized they were pawns in the game. All these rappers were pawns in the game, used to get the masses of our brothers to be locked up in prison. In many cases, they did not know. In some cases, they did know what they were doing.
Right.
But that propaganda was used through them to bring our brothers into the chains. And it's a good sign that they now finally waking up and saying F the streets, meaning F this world, this lifestyle we've been living. It's keeping us on the bottom. You know what I mean? While they up in the top, living deliciously. Them trillions and billions and millions that they getting, is going to somebody. And if I could, oh my goodness, man, I heard the governor of Minnesota say this himself. I heard him out his own mouth say that Trump is flaring up the issue with the Somalis, but that the issue with the Somalis have been going on for a long time. That's what he said. Like it's been going on for a long time. So they've been known about this scam.
Right.
And obviously some I stick to it. It'll come out eventually. Some clandestine agency is the one that ran this. And now we're hearing about Somaliland. And guess what? The Israelis are talking about bringing Palestinians there. So was this an Israeli Mossad operation to finance getting that land to finance them breaking off from the rest of Somalia and creating Somaliland? How did this go under the radar of the governor for so many years? We ain't talking a little bit of cash. We talking a bunch of cash.
Yeah, billions.
And nobody flagged it. Nobody saw it. Nothing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So they've been propagandizing against us and keeping us asleep. And it's about time that brothers wake up and say, damn, we sleep. We rapping about killing our own while they moving $1 billion out the country all the way to Somalia under the radar and nobody even see it.
Yeah.
And then here's what's the worst. Here's what makes it even worse. They'll point to that if this scandal had not come out, they would point to those Somalis in Minnesota and they would count them good American citizens. They'll say, look how hard they work. They built up their stores and their restaurants. Why you black people can't do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come over here, they respect all the sweet things that they like to say that an immigrant accomplishes in this empire. They would love to turn around and trash us up under it. Come to find out, they've been scamming. The whole thing is a scam. I bet you there's so many of them scam. I bet you all that talk about them Japanese is a damn scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That model minority. That was a big old scam.
Yes.
And I bet you there's a whole bunch of other ones of them scams that we know nothing about. We've been really, really abused here. We've been really suckered here. 2025, they pull $1 billion out, and we sitting here like suckers, still trying to get a Walmart job. Damn. Slug, yeah, I yield.
And General, $1 billion in about 4 years. This ain't a
Wow.
billion over 10. They say this was the COVID money.
Wow.
That COVID relief, federal relief money they took, $1 billion in about 4 years. They done, like, that's crazy money. That's the economy of some small countries.
That's $250 million a year.
A year.
A year.
From one state.
How the hell you siphon off $250 million and not come up on the FBI radar?
Right.
If the FBI can't get on the radar of somebody stealing $250 million, why am I trying to balance my checkbook?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. They would have definitely caught that. And they're immigrants too. A nation and dark-skinned people. You telling me they ain't have agents on that? There's some bloody hands in the midst of that. Not to mention how much of that money was taken from us.
Yeah.
Once again, they've kept us in such a delusion with Hollywood, with the music industry. They have put us in such a trance that we don't even have an inkling of how much money and how rich and wealthy the country is. We in utter poverty and just confused as to how these people are doing what they're doing. We probably black people probably go to one of them Somali stores and say to themselves, man, how the hell do they do it? Probably looking at them like they better than them, looking at them Somalis like they were better than black people.
Yeah.
Look at them like, walk into their store with a certain amount of respect because you think that they have done better than we have. You know what I'm saying? And think that they've been a better citizen than us. And let me tell you something now. When you believe that propaganda, and I know y'all know, it makes you hate your own.
Yep.
It makes you so, disgusted with your own because you have a false narrative as though your people had done something wrong. When meanwhile, these are thieves, man. Criminals financing a military group to fight against their own government and to create a state of their own, all just so you can deport millions of people from Palestine off their own land.
Right.
We not diabolical enough.
Yeah.
We ain't diabolical like them are. Like we are goodly. We're a goodly tree. You understand? Scripture said Jacob was a killer of the ground. The Esau was the hunter.
Yeah.
Jacob was wiser than him. But he's I know we like to portray ourselves as bad. But I gotta tell you, we nowhere near as vicious and slimy and horrifying as this man is.
Yeah.
He moved $1 billion out the country through the Somalis and build them homes and restaurants at the same time and never say a word to us. That's like Iran-Contra without the dope. If the dope ain't involved, who knows? Before that money got to Somalia, who knows where it went?
Right.
It's without the Bible, we are too unequipped to understand this world.
Right.
We're unequipped to play on the world stage unless you read these scriptures. Right or wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you absolutely.
I yield.
You are 100% right. Because
and if I could,
go ahead, Cap.
Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear me. You can hear me good, Salaki?
We hear you fine. You shot with you and let you speak. Go ahead. Go.
And piggybacking off of what you were saying, Commander Yahanna, another thing that's been affecting these like the younger generation as far as pulling them away from the glamour of the hip hop world and the NBA world and all that is the streamers. A lot of people are in the internet, but a lot of people are seeing how much much money the streamers are making, and a lot of the artists, the rap artists, they seeing how much money the streamers are really making, and they trying to jump on the bandwagon, because
Right.
also with the internet, you also have a lot more of the exposure of what people are seeing on the video. So you got these rappers that say he got a video with 10 cars. Okay, they looking at the license plate and saying, "Oh, all those cars is rented." They, they're seeing the concert aren't matching the tickets. The certain rappers, they got 100 million streams on the internet for their song, but their concert ain't selling out. They canceling the tours. They don't have enough tickets. They got videos of the concert. It's like 10 people in there, but you thinking he was some super big rapper because of his views. So a lot of rappers are falling off in real time faster.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And there's people are, they got videos of rappers doing DoorDash and Uber. And so somebody said, "Hey, ain't you little TK? What you doing with the DoorDash?" He's embarrassed. He's like, I'm just trying to make my money, But he was a big rapper on the thing with a big bankroll on a YouTube video, 6 months ago.
Wow.
So a lot of it being exposed through the internet, which is making a lot of people fall off from that, which, people have been talking about that for a long time, how the money in the cars is rented, the houses is rented, they don't own it, but now it's coming out quicker in real time, and they spotting the fake riches quickly, And then the second thing, another thing that's heavy with what you're saying about the world stage is they know through, when I was studying, it's like personality studies, like studying the personalities of people. They know it's between 40 to 60% of any given population that have a personality to conform, to purport themselves to become something that people are expected of them. So you got those type of personalities that say, "I want to be a firefighter because everybody expects me to be something good like a firefighter," or "I want to be a doctor or a lawyer because everybody knows a doctor or a lawyer is a good thing to be, and I want to impress and be what's good. I'm not a rebel. I don't want to be seen as going against the grain or against my family or against society. So I want to be a soldier. I want to join the army. I want to be a Navy. I want to be all I can be." They know there's a certain amount of society that has that personality. So when they push, like you said, with that loud woman voice, or that thugged out different personalities they give to black people, to black men, they know there's a certain amount of our population that's going to follow that. They just got to deal with the rest of the population that will look differently about it, will want to rebel against it, will want to do it, but do it on their own terms. The other different personalities that they would have to face with that. I just wanted to bring that in, because it's things is changing as far, especially with the perception. That perception ain't there as easy no more. That, "Oh, I got all this money. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's fake money. Oh, you're lying."
They catch it. They see that it's all, a lot of it is talk. Jewelry be fake.
Yeah,
all of that.
They even got the youngsters running around with a little diamond tester, and they be making YouTube videos. They go around, "Let me see your chain," putting the diamond tester on it.
Dang. They got to test to see if you fraudulent or not, huh? That's crazy. Man. And they starting to kill each other so quickly. Like, the minute one of them gets a little recognition, you find out that he's been, part of a horrible crew, and now they want his life. I yield.
So, like, if I may too, and just to piggyback off what Captain Kapash is saying, and I see why it is so important that the strong man is not bound, because a lot of these things, like, okay, because I was fortunate enough to grow up with my pops in a house for the majority of my childhood until my parents split. A lot of the illusion of this society, we weren't allowed to be illusion, like we weren't allowed to be tricked by. It's because it's like we had somebody here to snap out of it. Like that's not what that is. Like I have a core memory of, I remember we was walking into Walmart and they would have these machines right outside of Walmart where you can put a quarter in and use the claw to grab one of the toys that pull up.
Right.
And I remember I was I was asking my pops, can I get a quarter? Can I get a quarter? He was like, man, it's rigged, man. It's like it's rigged. You're not gonna win. And it you know, at that age, it was like, damn. But it was like it set the tone for really putting us ahead from what I noticed my peers around me. It was like you couldn't hustle us with the illusion of what, you know, the streets is the life to live, and the, you know, I want to be a rapper. You couldn't, like having a strong father in the house, it stops you from being gamed up by a lot of the illusion of this place. And I thank the Lord for giving me what I had, because for certain, I've seen the difference in the brothers in my same age that were around me that got caught up in the illusion of certain things that appeared to be one way, but was just another hustle. So what you said, we need a black man in every black house, General, that was revolutionary, because I mean, I see it from the ground level. It starts there. So like it.
Listen, you're saying heavy in that. Okay, you need a leader in every house,
right?
So that the leaders can come together and make the whole nation safe. But if you have nobody to raise the leaders, they just get cut off.
Right.
Like they came in there with that crack in the 80s, and that was the end of any chance of fathers being in the house.
Yeah.
Which means from that point on, everybody had to grow up with no father. Thus, as a result, learning no leadership, except for you know, a small group.
Right.
And as a result, here we are. Nobody to cut the nonsense out of you before you get caught up in it, like your dad did for you. Which is, you know, like they done did a number on us now. It's time for us to go. You know what I mean? Time for them to go on and fulfill that prophecy and allow us to go on and do the will of the Most High.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was well said.
Most High in Christ, bro.
We keep putting it back in the youth. That level of masculinity is coming back. That leadership is coming back. That free masculine man to say is definitely one of the things you learn in here. So from what you taught us, like being able to reject something is a masculine thing. Like the choice, not just saying yes and going with it just because, but being able the freedom to say, I don't want that, I want this one. Or I'm not taking that one. I'm not settling for that one. No, we're not doing that. Like that there is what, you know, we need more of in our community. Like saying no and rejecting a whole lot of stuff, even when it's not popular to reject it. You know, sometimes in our community, we struggle with, because we ostracize ourselves damn near for rejecting something. Like we develop shame. We don't even allow them to shame us. We shame ourselves for saying no to something that we know we should say no to. So that should just come right back in the earth. And we ain't gonna have no choice for it to come back, because the oppressor, he's doing whatever he ought to do.
Yeah.
Doing it all day. So if we don't start rejecting and, you know, pulling to ourselves, pulling into a square, pulling to our side, we're gonna get gobbled up.
That's right.
True.
And if I could say one more quick thing, a lot of the street life start having a strong decline after that rapper 6ix9ine, after he had that issue with his crew that he was dealing with, his gang, the Treyway gang or whatever, the Bloods that he was rolling with, and he snitched on them. And then, you know, he went all around the internet like, look, I'm still out here. Y'all ain't nobody good nothing. Y'all give these dudes too much credit. There's a snitch in this neighborhood. I know a snitch in Harlem that's walking around. There's a snitch over all over. He starts going around and running all over around and just start clowning all the so-called street niggas that's supposed to, oh man, snitches get stitches, snitches this, snitches that. I rode around with no security. He went all over the internet doing that. He's still on the internet. Still ain't nobody did nothing to him. So a lot of they lost a lot of clout, like a lot of that gangsterism, that street life, this the rapper who got a street crew and this and that. They lost a lot of respect after that. You know what I mean? And so it started going downhill. You know what I mean? Because that was big in the hip hop community. In the hip hop community, everybody figured, oh man, it's done for him. They're gonna go get him. Somebody go get him. And then everybody who say that, it's the internet now. He go to them on the internet and be like, well, why don't you come get me? Why don't you do it? Oh man, you see, if you was right here, I'd do it. But they know they ain't about to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's good though. The street life need to go down.
Esau done took it over and playing everything.
Yeah.
You watching the internet, he listening to the songs, everything is evidence. He's playing everybody into so he could fill the prisons with our young brothers, fill every institution that he could get free labor from. Like the whole thing is a horrible game they're playing with our youth. You know what I mean? And with us all, even the older generation, destroying it. So there's no continuity from the older generation to the young. Is a big gap in a generation. Yep. It's a huge generation gap to the point we don't even recognize each other anymore. But amongst the other nations, they ain't really got that generation gap. Them musicians showing the young musicians what to do. Their businessmen showing the young businessmen what to do. Their sportsmen putting the younger sportsmen on. We the only one who always have that, beef, that fabricated beef.
And we the only ones that got to start from the bottom.
Always.
Every generation. Like they building, they living a life. Even if they are heathen, they still live a wonderful life because their neighborhood, their community is not under attack directly. They take some falls and some setbacks, but as a community, they building their homes up and building their businesses up and under no threat of having any problem. Like, how many East Indians are in this country? They don't feel under no gun. Certainly the white groups like Ukraine and so forth, they don't feel anything. And neither do many of the even the Arabs. Even the Arabs don't feel, with all their terrorism and all that, they don't feel under the gun like, oh boy, we're going to get deported. It's only the Lord's 12 tribes that they're going to go after.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And filled with propaganda. Ain't nobody tainting no East Indian music. Ain't nobody tainting any Arab music.
Right.
Ain't nobody making movies propagandizing them.
That's right.
Ripping away their culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? None of that. Ain't nobody ghettoizing their neighborhoods and their communities. You know what I mean? They becoming mayors, and you see that cat in New York just became mayor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all them little businesses came together and financed him. Now he's in charge. They're gonna get even more. But what happens with us is we got to start from zero every generation, like you just brought out. So it's a good thing. And here's another thing that is going to be colossal in the midst of this whole series of events. As they begin to say, F the streets, now they're going to say, what should we be doing now? If we ain't going to go to the streets, which means they're going to have to start looking at those preachers. They're going to have to start looking at where the wealth is at in the black community. And the black community is going to have to start examining, how are we really going to help them? How are we going to help young black men? And that's something they never gave a damn about. Matter of fact, blamed black men for it. And will try to continue to blame black men and women for it. But now, you know what I mean? Everything you wanted them to stop, they've stopped it now. Now, what are you going to do with them is the $1 million question. We know what to do with them. what are you going to do with them? And the answer is they're not going to do anything because
Yeah.
they don't even know what to do.
Right.
Because they've been so focused on just dismissing them as the problem and counting their money at the end of the day. But this thing now is going to turn on its nose, and now they're going to be looking at all those who prospered in the hood and prospered off of their mothers and grandmothers. Meanwhile, did nothing for them during the COVID, did nothing for them during this crisis going on right now. They didn't get any reach out, any help. Nobody spoke against those that was in charge for what they did. So it's a beautiful time now. Because now the nation will have to focus on itself. Esau already showed us he ain't focusing on us at all.
Yeah.
So guess what? Now we're gonna have to focus on ourselves. And as we do that, oh boy, what's gonna be exposed among the black community is going to be horrific, and Latino community and Native Indian community. We're going to really finally see why brothers have been always held back. Right now, the majority of homeless, the black community, Latino community is young men. Young men, which is unheard of before. A young man always was able to go home to his mother and father. Or his mother, even just his mother. Your mama always had a house or had an apartment or couch he could sleep on, but not anymore because mama was on crack.
Right.
So she in a worse situation than him. So now he's really stuck. He damn near needs to take care of her at his young teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really in a jam. You know what I mean?
Come.
Surviving on couches and surviving in the street until he end up in a shelter, and hopefully with no felony, where he can't even get a good, decent working job that could get him into a place. Not to mention not being caught up into the violence necessary to defend yourself in these streets or just on the random. It's a horrible, horrific situation. You know what I mean? But it's swept under the rug and kept quiet and pushed back for now.
Right.
For now. But it's about to spill out into the world that we dealing with. I yield, Salaki.
John, we heading right straight to one. I don't know if you wanted to clip there, if you wanted to pull up.
Yeah, it seemed like we done for the night, right?
Calm. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Everybody go pay your Passover fee right now. Go pay your Passover fee right now. We dropped that 200 isupk.com. Log on to the website, pay your Passover fee, get your receipt, lock that thing, and go boast on the internet about how you pay your Passover fee too. You know what I mean? Like the Bible talks about there's things you should be ashamed of. So you could go shame people who ain't paid. Go on and there and share. Let them know you pay and ask them what the hell is their problem.
Right.
You know I mean? Go pay that Passover fee, man. The general putting down as exhibition in 3 months. 3 months and about 4 days. 3 months from now, we're going to be putting down an exhibition in Houston, Texas. It's going to be insane. Pay that Passover, man. Ensure your entry into a whole week of monster events, all paid for. You know what I mean? Security good, hotel good, transport good. Everything's there. Bring the kids, bring the wife, bring the husband, bring the aunties, the uncle, the cousin, the friend. Bring everybody, man. Bring them down to Houston, Texas. This is your high holiday. This is your heritage, your culture. Passover, 57 years in the game. We're going to honor it down April 4, 2026. Pay your Passover fee, man. The Lord's 57th annual Passover. Pay your tithes, too. You're getting paid every week. You're getting an increase every week, every other week, or every month. 10% of your increase on earnings must come into the priests and prophets of the Lord. Pay your Passover fee. Pay your tithes. Them two things go hand in hand, man. The white man building an empire and they supporting him. You build your government. You support your nation. Pay your tithes.
That's right.
Pay
Yes,
your
sir.
tithe, man. Where your heart is where your treasure is also, man. If you see you
Yes,
love the UPK, you love the work the brothers doing, man. Show it. Put that thing in, man.
So if I could, Michelle,
Please.
what would we do if we came together with some land where we grew our own food and gave it away, not sold it, but gave it to the brothers and sisters in the truth for the strength of them supporting the truth. The truth gets strong enough to now supplement some of the pressure that they're up under.
Right.
What happens when we start to gain real estate, and instead of making a profit off of the real estate, we just divvy up the tax amount.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody pay a piece of that tax money, and now your rent's $200 instead of $2,000.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like while they raising the economy, our brotherhood and sisterhood is the antidote to that struggle.
Right.
That's
You
right,
know what I
sir.
mean? Making sacrifices for our own is how we, rebuild our nation during these hard times. I don't know no brother that wouldn't want to get his rent reduced $1,800 while living next door to his own brothers who he can count on and be trustworthy with.
Right.
And for those brothers to be so right that the school decides we don't need to make profits off of this building. What we need is to use this building for housing as many people as possible.
Right.
Let's just cover the ties. Let's grow. What is it going to be like to come every week and get a free bag of potatoes, onions, and garlic? You know what I mean? I went in the store the other day, man, and red peppers were $2.50 for one red pepper.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? I felt like I had a gun in my back. 200. I had to look left and right to see if was it a prank? $2.50 for a damn red pepper. You know what I mean? And if you a man that cooks, still, what you gonna do with no red pepper?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or green pepper.
Yeah.
Or onion or garlic. What if the Lord's prophets would love the nation enough to take that money and build farms in areas where we can stop participating in a slave economy,
right,
and start participating in a charitable economy. Start participating in a brotherhood economy. It would be a great relief to us.
Yeah.
And it can be done with the right brotherhood and the right leadership.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Once again, UPK is where you're gonna get the vision. Is where you're gonna get
damn right
clear purpose of what is on the the forefront, what's on the horizon for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we gonna build it even if you can't see it.
Yep.
We gonna build it until you're able to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gonna do this damn thing right here. So to Water again, Journal, for coming through tonight and joining
Most High Christ, the Water for having me. I get up with you, warriors. Talk to y'all soon.
To Water, so Alawapanya.
To what?
Barak.
Yeah, how about Shemi?
Yabba Shema Shabraka Thumb to Water.
To Water to you.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. all black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.